about y'all? You got Hawg. Thanks for stopping by. I want to make a video now that the Affliction League is over and we're going into Necropolis League. A very important tool that Diablo refugees or new players over to Path of Exile will find useful. And it's not mandatory, but highly, highly, highly recommended. Especially if you feel at home over here and you want to settle in and play the game for a long while. Especially if you want to get into theory crafting your own builds. So Path of Building is a standalone program. Links in the description below if you want to go ahead and download it. But you'll see it mentioned everywhere in the community, from the general chat in-game to the forums to Reddit to random people, coming in on stream and stuff. What's the POB? Can I get a POB? Where's, can you share your POB? That is your Path of Building. So you're able to actually take your build and import it into this program here, and it tells you all kind of stuff about your particular character. So go ahead and download it, extract it, install it. It's real simple. I'm going to show you the bare bone basics because I'm not a super advanced user of it myself. I just kind of know how to play with it a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot more to it, but if you and I are on the same level, you'll find it useful enough, okay? I'm sure there'll be a lot of veteran players that'll chime in and tell us some stuff that we don't know. But when you first open it up, you're just going to get a basic screen like this. You're going to come up here to new. First of all, I apologize about my screen. I play on an ultra wide, so I'm trying to do the best I can for you to see it all. And then you'll come over here to, once you hit new, you'll hit import, export, build over here on the left. This area over here is your whole command station, if you will. That's where you're going to be looking at all your different skills and different calculations and stuff. We'll show you that in a minute. First, you need to import your build. It's actually going to import, well, there's two ways. You can actually import your build from Path of Exile, so your actual character, or you can import somebody's Path of Building link. So I'll show you how to import your character first. Here it is. You're going to go PC. This will be your account name. You'll hit start. It's going to go check the list. It's going to tell you the league. It's going to tell you the different ones you have. So we'll do my 96 Scion. Now you've got two buttons here, passive tree and jewels, items and skills. You need to click both of those. It will import these. So we're going to import passive tree and the jewels. Boom. Passive tree and jewel successfully imported. It'll tell you in green right here. And then the next one is items and skills. So then it'll tell you items and skills successfully imported. You'll see right here that everything starts populating, showing your stats, your DPS, your hit pool, your total mana, energy shield, anything and everything you need to know about your character is right there. Another thing that you can do is use build sharing, okay? Export and import. So let's say you have a really badass build that you want to share with somebody. You can go right here, generate a code to share this build. You hit generate, okay? And then you can shrink this because this is a huge code right here. Click share. It will shrink it down. Then you can copy that very small address and share it. Same with the import. So sometimes you'll see on a build, here's the Path of Building link, and it's this giant, enormous link. You post it right here, and it will open up the Path of Building and show you everything that you need to know. So not only is it your passive tree, it's also all of your skills and all of your items as well. So once you're imported, it won't automatically go over to your tree or these other pages. You'll have to click there, but we can click on tree and it brings up my particular tree for my Scion. So this will show you the entire passive tree. And what's nice about this is, let's say we zoom in on this shield defenses right here. Let's do it so y'all can see it. It says 40% increased defenses, and then underneath, it's not really populated right there, but it'll tell you what happens if you add or subtract. So nothing happens really here because I'm not using a shield. If we go over here, two-handed melee, we gain 0.3 life leech. If we go down here and go life regen, we get 34 energy shield regen. We get crit chance, so you see in green. Now, it'll also tell you in red, if you're taking something away, what happens. So if we take away this dexterity node, obviously it's minus 30 dexterity. What's cool about it is, here's a good example, this introspection. It'll tell you minus 36,000 average damage, minus mana regen, minus mana leech, minus energy shield, minus 45,000 armor. Okay, so it'll tell you the consequences of the decisions that you're making. I just realized that I don't have these two filled out. I don't understand why. Those need to be filled out there. It'll tell you the consequences of your decision before you actually spend an orb of regret to actually make that. You see here, if we were to take Smite the Heracle, you know, it would add some things, add about 6,000 damage. So this is a really cool tool. It'll tell you what these different jewels do, you know, as far as affecting your actual character, which a lot of times it's hard to see that that small number adjust when you're playing, but you can really tell it on the Path of Building. So highly encourage you to start playing with this. It's free. It's free to mess with. There's no gates or anything sketch or anything predatory, but this is hands down one of the best tools I've ever used in an ARPG, and I'm not just shilling that. I'm a guy that likes to theory craft, and I'm not saying that I'm successful at it by any stretch of the means, but it is fun to me to try to put builds together, and to have this kind of tool right here to be able to do that is just really cool. So the other thing that it does is it'll show you your ascendancies. So here's my Scion ascendancy right here. And so it'll tell me if I, you know, let's say I wanted to go Pathfinder instead, it'll show me what I would gain from taking Pathfinder, and then I can kind of figure out from there what I'd lose removing Champion. Just a good example. It's a really great tool. Now, there's things you can check. You have your main skills over here. So we can check what our melee hit is of our Veil Smite as our main damage dealer. So we're at 1 million DPS. And then you can go to area hit, and it'll tell you what your area hit damage is, which is pretty cool. So you can check if you got multiple skills, you know, just as this is just a, let's say, situation, you can see, you know, what kind of damage they're doing. You know, Ancestral Protector, you see it's doing 59,000. Leap Slam does 154,000. So it just tells you what all your skills are doing. Now you can actually click on the skill tree, or the skill button right here, skills, and it shows you everything that you have in a socket or socket groups. So if we look at Veil Smite, and this is a really good tool, you can see we've got Veil Smite and we've got all the supports that we're using with this particular skill gem. Now it'll tell you the level and the quality, so you can actually watch your DPS over here, and you can scale up quality and see, oh, it's changing in real time. So if you're wondering, how can I squeeze a little bit more DPS out of something, or why does this guy have more DPS than I do, or whatever, you can come in here and kind of answer that question by using this. But what's really nice too is it will tell you, so let's click on Awakened Elemental Focus. It will tell me basically if there's a better support to use instead of that. So if we see here Awaken Elemental Focus, right above it is Awaken Add to Lightning Damage, which actually adds 50,000 DPS. So if we were to swap these out, we would get 50,000 DPS. So we'll just go ahead and do that now. And you see our DPS went up to 110,000, 1.1 million, excuse me, Georgia Public Schools. And it works for any skill or anything. But see right here, Volatility is our best one. It's not putting anything above that. Multi-strike, it's probably going to put a bunch above multi-strike because I'm trying to do, see, yep, perfect example. If we were to take multi-strike out, which we're not going to because we need it, but replace it with Awaken Elemental Focus, we'd gain 500,000 DPS. So that's what's really cool about the skill, is if you're curious about better supports and you don't want to waste a whole bunch of time trying to cycle in and level them up and all this, this takes care of that right there for you. You can do the same thing with your aura skills and stuff like that, but I personally don't really worry about that right now. I'm trying to get the damage side done or understood before I kind of jump into that stuff. But that's a cool kind of just overview for that. Now you can do the same with items. Here's all the items that are equipped, and if you've got a couple of different ones, you can switch them out, and it will also tell you if you remove it, what happens. Now what's really cool is you can actually craft an item. So if we pull up the trade site, let me get this pulled up for y'all. All right, we're just picking a random ring. We're going to pick this Miracle Circle Moonstone ring right here behind me. This one right here. Now right here, excuse me, it's this one. You can copy item. Okay, this little page icon right here. You click on that bad boy, the item is copied. Okay, then we'll go back to Path of Building. All right, you're going to see Create Custom. Create custom item from text. That's what you're going to click. Okay, this is a rare. Make sure that's selected depending on what item, and then just paste that in there and hit create. This is straight from the trade site, so just click on it and then Control V, paste it in here. Here's the item. Okay, it's going to tell us immediately what it's going to do. It's going to give us 19,000 DPS, but we're going to lose all of this other stuff. And if we put it, oh, excuse me, this is for ring 1, so if we put it on the left hand ring slot, we're going to get this. If we put it on the right hand ring slot, we're going to lose that and gain that. So that's just something really cool. You can add to build right here. And there's a lot more stuff you can do. I'm not that advanced. You can make it shaper or change the influence or add modifiers, implicits. I don't know about all that, so I'm not going to tell you about it. All I know how to do is add it to your build and see how it is. So we can just add it to the build. Come over here, ring 1. There's our ring, Moonstone ring, Miracle Circle. And boom, we put it in and we see the stat change. So that's how you mess with items. You can really do any item. There's also a whole library of items on these two right here and right here. And you can search and go through and just pick whatever you want and play with them that way. I'll challenge you to do that on your own. See what you can come up with. But really great tool here. And then you've got your calculations. This is for your really hardcore stat guys that like to know exactly your breakpoints and all of that good stuff. This will tell you all of that, especially if you're starting to get into some really advanced builds like Armor Stacker or Mana Stackers or any of that you need to make sure you hit certain breakpoints, reservations and auras and all that stuff, or effect mods and all. This is the way to see all of that. Again, just kind of look at this yourself, but this is just a page to note. You can check by the different socket groups as well. So we're looking at Veil Smite right here. This is our main damage dealer. And it'll tell us just basically everything we need to know about all of our everything. It just breaks all the math down and everything. And then on this side here, you've got just your general stuff: mana, energy shield, life, armor, evasion, all that good stuff. So just a quick rundown of it. I don't know anything about party, so I can't tell you all that. Configuration. Let's not forget about this. Configuration is if something's going on with your build, like if you get charges, or if you have, let's see, if you're a leech a lot, or if you have onslaught or frenzy or anything like that going on, you can enable those things and see what it does to affect your damage or your defenses and stuff. So just a quick example, if you use charges. So this build actually does. I've been playing with adding charges to it. With the rings and a couple of things on the tree. So we do use power charges, we do use frenzy charges, we do use endurance charges. You see our DPS went up 200,000. And then we start adding number 3 power charge, and we use 3 frenzy charges, and we use 3 endurance charges, and we also have 2 inspiration charges, let's say. And that's going to tell us our total DPS at that point. Do you have onslaught? Yeah, we do. We always have onslaught. Are you fortified? Sure, let's just say we are. You have a flash active? Yep. Have you killed recently? Yeah. Have you attacked recently? Yeah. See, it'll just modify. See, now we've got another 100,000 added to it. Is the enemy on full life? Is he blinded? Is he covered in ash? Sometimes you'll see things like enemies covered in ash on hit. This will, I guess, substitute, but that will emulate that for you in your damage. So if you don't know what it's going to do for your build, if you were to take that particular item that has that modifier, that will tell you. So is the enemy burning? Is he shocked? Is he exposed to lightning? And you'll see what it does. Really helpful to help your currency. If you think there's a really badass item that's going to help you out, and it's got this, let's say it's a unique that's got this kind of cool modifier, there you go. It'll tell you if it works or not, and that'll save you some currency. So just a really kind of shallow dive into it. Really don't want to insult the people that made this and all by just kind of giving it just this quick of an overview, but this is just a basic starter guide. Get your feet wet so you don't feel overwhelmed. It's actually a quite simple program for as powerful as it is. So big shout out to the guys that created this. This beats anything that I've ever seen in an ARPG. This is really a kick-ass tool. So appreciate y'all. If you want to come join me on Twitch for the league start, we'll be doing that. We'll be playing all season. This is a badass league. I hadn't been a part of a crafting league yet. I really hadn't done a league from league start to end yet. We're going to do it this time. So make sure to come join me over on Twitch. Links in the description for that. Like and subscribe for more content. We'll see you next time.